Today, I have a breaking story. Now, usually I like to open up with some kind of a joke to make fun of Donald Trump. You know, something to lighten the mood. Unfortunately, now it's just too risky. I cannot risk getting deported to an El Salvador prison for telling too many jokes mocking Donald Trump. Although that is, of course, a joke, what's not a joke is that various Trump voters have just left Trump stunned as they've dropped a brutal bombshell directly on him. This breaking story has it all: betrayal, buyer's remorse, and regret. How's it going? My name is Hunter Avalone with Occupy Democrats. Welcome back to another video. Now, Trump's America continues to feel more and more like Gotham City. Things are just out of control, as recently a legal US-born citizen was detained in the state of Florida for over 48 hours, all on a bunch of bogus claims that this man had illegally entered the state of Florida.
A 20-year-old US citizen, Juan Carlos Lopez Gomez, was held in the Leon County Jail after being arrested by a Florida Highway Patrol trooper during a traffic stop. Not for a crime, but for allegedly entering Florida as an unauthorized alien. This despite his US birth certificate being waived in court by a supporter and confirmed authentic by Judge LaShawn Riggins, who found no probable cause for the charge. Still, ICE issued a 48-hour detainer, and the judge said her hands were tied. His mother wept in court, desperate to understand why her Georgia-born son was being treated like a criminal. Advocates say this is the real impact of Trump's America, where the relentless targeting of immigrants has fueled racial profiling so severe. Even US citizens are being swept up in it just for speaking a different language.
Of course, after this 20-year-old US citizen was arrested, massive protests quickly unfolded.
Todos vamos. Aquí estamos. Aquí estamos. Y no nos vamos. Y no nos vamos.
Luckily, this story does have a bit of a happy ending, as after 48 grueling hours in a Florida prison, this man was finally released to his desperate mother. And what's even worse is this chaos is unfolding at the hands of a man who wouldn't even know foreign policy if it bit him directly in the butt. That's right, recently Trump was doing a press conference when he blatantly admitted he doesn't know what the Congo is.
Many people come from the Congo. I don't know what that is, but they came from the Congo. And all over the world they came in, opened their jails, Venezuela.
It's unbelievable that Donald Trump is this uneducated and this proud of being uneducated when he's supposed to be the most powerful man in the world in charge of shaping foreign policy. So as Trump continues his assault on due process and his blatant disrespect for anything over a 5th grade education has all culminated to the moment you've been waiting for. That's right. Various red states and Trump voters have dropped a stunning bombshell on Donald Trump.
I wanted Trump.
You wanted Trump?
Yep. There was no way in hell I wanted her out there. But now I don't know what would have been better.
What were you expecting?
I was expecting the lower cost of a lot of just your everyday living things and hoping that he would make things better for everybody in America, because that's what we need. Groceries are already outrageous, and then we put the tariffs on across the seas or whatever, like China, all that. It just makes everything more expensive for everybody.
Rick Ekman says in the 3 days after the tariffs, cattle futures dropped below the point of break even for his farm.
Never had him do this before.
Yeah, he really likes you.
No.
Did you vote for Trump?
No. No, I did not.
Why not?
You want me to be truthful? I think to get to where he's at today, he's stepped on people and he's got no morals, I don't think. I don't like the man. I don't like him.
Why do you think so many of your neighbors do support him?
I don't know. I guess I don't see anything good about him.
Does it affect the way you think about America?
It scares me.
Terry Nebelsick, a lifelong Republican and retired school superintendent, was very careful in how he talked about the political climate. He's concerned that Trump's push to dissolve the Department of Education will cut public school funds for needy kids, potentially at a time of economic turmoil.
If poverty is happening to adults, children are hurting. And where adults sometimes just have to work through it and make sure there's food on the table. During that time, we have children and adolescents who are forming who they're going to be. And I do think that the public school is a collecting point for people to be able to reach those kids and make sure that they're fed and have medical attention and have their basic needs met.
This is a very Republican state. I think it's too soon for them to say they're wrong.
So long story short, Trump continues to bleed supporters who recognize that they made a mistake a little too late. Sorry, Trump, but if you keep up at this rate, soon you'll successfully unite the entire country against you.